Hello, crafty friends. I am thrilled to see Thelma out there. Hello, Thelma. I miss you when you're not here. I see Roberta and Martha and Annette, Mary T, Irene. I see Martha. Did I say Martha?
Yes.
And Annette. And I think that's it for now, but I'm sure we'll have others today. Yeah, I did say that. So I'm glad you're all out there, and we're going to have some great fun. Hi, Susie. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Hey, I can't wait to go through this technique with you again. I know many of you have seen it, but if you have not tried this, you are going to totally love this technique we're going to do today. Let's start by kind of recapping and looking at some of our past projects. Then we're going to turn your ring light on so they can really see the glitter, please. Then we're going to try some new ones with, this was done on rice paper. We're going to do some new ones today using rice paper. This technique can be done either with rice paper or with paper napkins, believe it or not. And here's another one done on a napkin. When you use the paper napkins or the rice paper, either one, this technique really intensifies the colors that are already there. So this was a very, very soft background color with coral color, and you can see how the coral just kind of pops, and that background color really comes out when you put the glaze on. This is another napkin.
Martha J has asked, have the stickers come in yet?
I have a huge order. I'm not sure whether it has arrived yet. It was part of a ginormous order from Find It Trading in Holland. And wow, that is one ugly fingernail right there. Part of a ginormous shipment of embossing or embroidery threads and stickers. And they took a while to ship it because it was over 600 items. Yeah. And it takes a little while to pull 600 items. So they didn't get it shipped right away, even though the order's been in for a while. And now I believe it has probably, in fact, I'm sure it has arrived here, but for the very same reasons, Brittany kind of keeps pushing the box back because she has easier and quicker things to list. So they're here. They should be listed within a short time. So this is another one we've done. You're going to have to back up just a little for this one, because this is a DL card that we did on a napkin. Look at that beautiful hummingbird. There's two hummingbirds in there, see them? And the beautiful colors. And look what happens. Go ahead and come in close now. Come in close on one of the hummingbirds. Look what happens to the black when you put that glitter over the top of it. It is just the coolest, most wonderful. Hi, Brenda. Really neat technique. Now, sometimes people say, well, I'm not sure I want all that glitter for the guys in my life. You don't have to use the glitter. I'm also going to show you a technique that's glaze only. And this is for the guys in your life. We have wonderful rice papers downstairs that have race cars and old rusted out vehicles, Route 66. There's some really good ones. Airplanes. I think I brought a couple up today in my suggested papers. So there you go. They should be posted soon, oh Martha. Okay, so that's where we're going. Let's get going and go there. Okay, for this technique, you're going to need your kit. Grab one of those kits so I can show them how much powder and stuff they get, would you please? You're going to need your kit. In addition to your kit, I recommend having some handy trays available or something that you can pour your powder in and then pour it back into your jars. And you're going to need an embossing gun. Thank you. This is what the powder packs look like that you're going to get from me. It's kind of funny as we were packaging these up. I think it's rather obvious this is embossing powder, but I asked Bryce to go through and write embossing powder all on them because I didn't want to be sending white powder through the mail that wasn't clearly identified in case something came open or so we wrote embossing powder on it. You get one full packet that is the Wow. This is just Wow. The same stuff that's in these jars. You get about a third of a jar of Wow. And then you get another third of a jar that I have mixed with our super high quality ultra fine glitter. So you get about 2/3 of a jar. These jars have gone up to $21 a jar now. I can't believe it. $21 a jar. But it's a fabulous product and it goes a long, long, long way. But these replacement packs now, these replacement packs now are $14, and that does not represent anything for my time. It's a third of a jar, $7, another third of a jar, $7, and all of my labor is free. But I do have the replacement packs if you have everything else you need. I am including in your kit 2 6x12s, which will take care of 2 European A6 cards per panel. And you get 2 of those. So you have enough for 4 cards. If you want to make more, the tape I recommend, you really need to have tape that is heat resistant. If you can do it without, but if you're doing it without, you're going to get bubbles coming up in the tape. And you can work with it a little bit. You can kind of push those bubbles down as you work, but then you're going to have fingerprints in your finished product. And in the long run, it's just better to have heat resistant tape. The one tape that I found that has been consistently heat resistant is this. It's called Sookwang, Sookwang. This is the same tape that is sold by Elizabeth Craft. It's also the same tape that's sold by Score Tape. And if you get it in the 5-inch roll, a 5-inch roll goes a long ways. I think there's 27 yards on a roll. At 27 yards is 70 some odd feet. We're using 2 feet for this card, but there is a kicker. It's $44 a roll. So I'll bet some of you have this tape sitting in your closets and it may be underused. Pull that tape out, friends and neighbors. Get that stuff out of your closets and use that. If you have other adhesives that say they're heat resistant, they should be okay for this technique. But just this is what I use. Okay, so I recommend if you have some little bottles that you save some little bottles and put your powder into the little bottles. You can reuse I put these in Ziploc bags. You can certainly reuse these, but it's a whole lot easier to have them in your jars. All right, I recommend using European A6 cards with these because most of the rice paper that we have is European. And as you know, one piece of rice paper will make 4 cards with European A6. So that's why I'm using European A6 cards. All right, let's get started here. I'm going to show you, but before we're done, a whole bunch of suggested sheets. I think I'm going to try to start with, at least. I'm going to use this pair of scenes. I think this will be really fun. It's called Notre V Cards, and it is from Ciao. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I am going to, whoa, almost tipped over my pop. Look at it, man, I'll have a slurp. Okay. I'm going to trim this up just a little with my scissors that have too much sticky on them. I've still been talking about cleaning my scissors, haven't I? I've sat and cut all this adhesive with my scissors. Let's see if these will work better. Really got to clean my scissors. I have no excuse since I have all the tools for it. I think I'm going to I'm going to put 2 panels down at once. We'll see how that works. I'm going to start with the Metropolitan entrance, and I'm going to start with the lady and her poodle. And I'm going to trim a little off the top, just the margins off the top and off the sides, because I appreciate being able to handle the sides of my cardstock. That's why I made them 5.5 inches wide. That gives me like 3/4 of an inch on either side. Leeway. So set this one at this bottom on this side, and let's get started with this. Now I have rubbed these down good, but it wouldn't hurt to take a minute and rub this down a little bit more just to make sure that you have a really, really good bond to the cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and expose my adhesive, trying really hard to keep my fingers out of the adhesive. I'm going to go ahead and put my 2 panels down into my adhesive. I'm going to lose just a little bit off the top of my paper. I'm going to put this sheet back over the top and really rub that in, so I'm kind of staying out of the adhesive, but just getting a really good bond of my paper to that cardstock. I want you to notice something already, even before I put the glaze on. As soon as I take that rice paper and I put it on a white background, see how those colors start to pop? They're already more intense than they were, aren't they? Which is kind of cool. Next thing in my process is I'm going to try out this embossing pad. Oh, that's the other thing I didn't say. You're going to want an embossing pad. An embossing pad, or help me out, guys. What am I trying to think? The watermark kind of pad. What's it called? Versamark. You'll want that's a good idea. If I'm going to use an old credit card, you'll want a Versamark or an embossing pad. And I am going to go all over this image. And I'm just going to pounce it everywhere. I want it everywhere. My tape is going to be a little wider than my image. Once we get the first section of glitter on here, the tape around the edges won't be sticky anymore. Make sure you go clear out to the edges and really give it a good pouncing. All over. We want the powder to stick everywhere. I'm going to have two trays here, one that's been glittered and one that hasn't. I'm going to grab my embossing powder with glitter in it. There's nothing magical or proprietary about my formula for this. You can make your own. However, you're doing it at exactly, if you use the kits, you're doing it at exactly the same cost that it's going to cost to do it yourself. Well, actually, at a lesser cost, because for one packet of this glitter, I'm using 1/3 of a jar of my Wow, and I'm using half a 1 ounce jar of my glitter. The glitter's $4.95 for a 1 ounce jar, and the Wow, $1 a jar now. So you're actually getting it cheaper by using the kit. Not that I want to have to make more, but it is cheaper for you. So now everything has a nice hazy look, but you can see the glitter in it. The beauty of using this tray is that I can pour this right back into. Don't tip this tray too far, though. If you tip it too far, it's going to come right over the front. But you can start pouring your powder through that pour hole. See, it's actually coming over the front a little bit here. If you try and pour it too fast, it will come over the front. So I got a little bit here, but I actually didn't do too bad. I'll wipe that up so I'm not wearing it, which I probably will be anyway by the time I'm done, because it just tends to be what I do. All right. Let's close that back up, because we also know I'm prone to knocking things over. All right. I'm going to use this little paddle. You don't have to, but it is a convenient little thing. It actually came with my Tiffany embossing gun holder. I'm going to grab my embossing gun. I'm going to take the gun a minute to get warm, but I might as well be moving it around in there while it gets warm. You can really do this with like a kitchen kind of mat and one of these clips. You know, what's my trying to say like a lightweight cutting board. We can start to see a change there. You notice I'm moving my gun a lot. I don't want to be any place too long. You can see it changing on her. Look at these colors intensify. Everything becomes more vibrant as we work. I want to make sure I get every little corner. I don't want to have any unprocessed powder on here. Now, why the ultra fine, extra high quality glitter? It's because it is very ultra fine. It's very, very highly reflective. It's AB glitter, so it's got that, it throws the colors, and that's beautiful. Move this up so that I can get this bottom panel now. In fact, what I might do is go ahead and cut these apart at this point. Just to make them easier to handle. But look at that. It's going to be beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and clip this one onto my board. I told you after we glittered it, we wouldn't have it sticky on the sides, but I didn't get any glitter on the very sides of this, so it's going to continue to be sticky out there. Now that this is already red, it's going to start changing really fast. This is already hot. See the colors changing? Look at that intensity we're getting in the colors. It's always fun to emboss and watch the powder change, isn't it? I think it is. The entrance to the Metropolitan on this card. Okay, let's see if we've got everything. Bring my fingers over here and make sure that I don't have any powdery areas, which I do not. Let's look at this first one. Are there any powdery areas? There are not. Okay. Now it's time for our second coat. Now, if you really wanted to, you could do the second coat in glitter also, but I have found that it really isn't necessary. We get a lot of glitter in that first coat, so we can go to the clear for our second coat. Oops. After we pounce it. What did I do with it? There it is. After we pounce it good. And we're just going to take this embossing pad and just really work this over. Pounce it, pounce it, pounce it. You'll notice we lose a little bit of our glittery look for a little while. It's okay. Okay, that should be pretty thoroughly covered. I don't know if I got it enough at the top. Let's get this top part too. It's super important to use either Versamark or the embossing round jar. I want the plain this time. Versamark or the embossing pad, because you need that ink to have give you some working time. We want slow dry ink. And of course that ink needs to be clear or we will defeat the purpose. I've got my image all covered again. Flip it to my board. Grab my zap gun. If you need a gun, I've got 2 or 3 brands in the store, including one that sells for like $15, which if you have priced these is an extremely good deal. Now, what's going to happen when we do the second coat here is that you're going to put a clear coat over the top of our glittered coat. But if you watch really carefully as you're working, you'll see a little bit of movement in the glitter below as the two powders mix. That's okay. It's going to give you some depth as the two mix. And you'll notice I'm not getting any bubbling or buckling in my adhesive. That's because of the heat-resistant adhesive, guys. This is just such a cool technique. I know that adhesive on the roll is very expensive, but once you get it, it really is. I saw somebody said it's an investment. It really is, because once you get it, it just goes and goes and goes. It's like the Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going and going. You know, you'll have it for a long time. Making sure I have every little bit heated. How beautiful is that? And it's just going to get more beautiful because we're still going to put another coat on it. I'm going to set this aside for a minute, let it cool. We're going to get this one out. And we're going to get that pad. And we're going to pounce, pounce, pounce everywhere. I really want to get that covered with my embossing ink. If you need an embossing pad, we have some in the store. Okay, with a nice hazy look to things again. I'll clip this to my board. I think I'll go ahead and pour back some powder. Now this tray is a little different than the last one that I used. The other one that I have here has a pouring hole with some guards in the front. This one has a pouring spout, and it's a little more apt to run over the edges if you're not careful. So I'm kind of guiding it a little bit while I have so much powder in my tray. I'm kind of guiding it with my finger a little bit to get it to come on down without going right over the edges. I'll show you what I mean about the spout difference when I get this into the jar. These little trays really are a lifesaver, though. Because as messy as this job is, I'm really not making a huge mess of it, which is highly unusual for me. Here's the difference between the two trays. Here's the one with the spout, and here's the one with the hole I was using for the other one. So, more than one kind. I'll save all that powder, though, at $21 a jar. I don't want to lose any of it. I don't have to. You can buy that in 1 ounce jars, but a 1 ounce jar is like $6. Or you can buy a 4 ounce jar for $21. Okay, let's get our heat gun and our... I actually keep calling this a heat gun. It really isn't. And a household heat gun really is not the solution for this, guys. You really do want a crafting embossing tool rather than a heat gun that's made for paint stripping and stripping wallpaper and that kind of thing. Because that just gets too darn hot for crafting purposes and you'll end up ruining your project. So I'm not advocating use of a heat tool. You really want an embossing gun. Not to mention the fact that you can burn the crap out of yourself on those heat guns pretty easily. A little safer tool, too. It's fun to watch the colors change. I'm going to give this still one more coat. Do I have to? No. I just like it when it gets really shiny. Now, I'll tell you something about these. Just from handling it and stuff, I actually have just a little bit of a ripple to my paper now. Just a tiny one. And I can pull that right back in, and it's fine. But sometimes, depending on how many coats you have on it, it can crack. Don't throw it away. Reheat it. Reheat it. Remelt the powders and it's absolutely fine. So there you go. That's another little tip for you. In fact, especially, we haven't talked about UD yet, but especially if you use ultra fine embossing enamel, which I think I might, just for illustration purposes. I think I'm going to do one of these two panels with another coat of UD, or with another coat of Wow, which is what's included in your kit. Just for kicks, I'm going to do one of them with UD, which is UD is short for ultra thick embossing enamel. We're going to do one with UD just to show you the difference between the two. I do sell UD in the store too. It's not a product we get a lot of call for anymore, except when I do this project. When I do this project, everybody wants UD. You will see why. I'm going to do this one with Wow. I'm going to do the Metropolitan with UD over the top. Yes, you can mix Wow and UD on the same card. I don't recommend mixing the powders because they have different melting temperatures, but you can use both of them in the... That's a good idea to put another tray under when to catch any spillage. Martha, I like that idea. I actually have a big tray over there I could have underneath all these. What I was saying, I was talking about UD, but I lost it. Doesn't matter. Probably said it before anyway, because I tend to repeat myself. Okay, knock off a little of the extra powder. We're cloudy again. This will be my final coat of Wow. Here we go. One coat of glitter, 3 coats of clear. People will look at this card and say, how on earth did you do that? And you'll say, oh, it was pretty easy. If I were doing this with a napkin, I would separate the layers of my napkin and I would use only, it's like a 3-ply napkin, those tend to be the good ones. I would separate and remove the 2 tissue layers from the napkin, and I would keep only the colored part from the top, and I would lay it over my tape just like we just did with the rice paper. I would demonstrate, but it's as simple as that. Just as simple as that. You get the job done. Wow, that's beautiful. Look how beautiful that is, guys. I love the kind of almost painted texture you get to it. We have UD in the store. It's UTEE, ultra thick embossing enamel. I'll try Martha's idea. I'll put this tray underneath. Well, I put this one back in case I have any spillage. That's a good idea, Martha. You guys always come up with the best ideas. And I am getting a little coming over the top. Steering it a bit with my finger again. I don't want to clear up my tray pretty good. Won't hurt to have a little bit of Wow in there with my UD, but I really don't want to mix the 2 formulations much. So I'm going to try and get my tray cleared out pretty good. I'm going to put that extra, since it's fallen into the tray that had the glitter, I'll put the extra little bit that I caught using Martha's suggestion right into my glittered Wow tray. Okay. All right. All right. Now, with our other one, we're going to use the same technique, but this time, instead of wow, we're going to use ultra thick embossing enamel, UD. Hi, Glenn. Now this one, you'll really see some mixing take place because the UD is much thicker. In fact, by comparison to the wow, which is ultra fine, the UD looks like sand when we put it on. So we're going to take this picture of the Metropolitan entrance here. Really tapping it good to make sure I have embossing ink everywhere. I'm going to use my tray. I'm going to get my UD out. And here we go. Now look at this formulation. See it going on? It looks like sand. I might come in a little closer, honey, so you can really see what this looks like. As we're putting it on, it really looks sandy by comparison to the wow. See that? It looks like sand going on, doesn't it? It's very, very big pellets by comparison. And it has a very sandy look on my card. I'll pour this back in.
Hi to Diane, Glenn, and Victoria.
Hi, Diane. Hi, Glenn. Hi, Victoria. We're making cards using wow. And right now, just for the sake of illustration, we're making a card using UD, which is ultra thick embossing enamel. You do not have UD in your kit. We do sell it in the store. I just want to show you the difference in finish between the two. Okay. I didn't spill much of anything there. I'm going to clear my tray out so that if I go back to the wow, I'm going to get my board. Catch just the edge of it because I really want to melt the UD everywhere. And here we go. This will take a little longer to heat and melt because the pellets are so much bigger. And we really will see some mixing of the glitter in the UD. Sometimes I use 2 coats of UD just to get the finish I want. We'll decide what we want to do after the first coat. If you get enough UD on there, it becomes kind of self-leveling. And with the first coat, it looks kind of like ripples on the water. But it does become very shiny because that's what UD does. Ultra thick embossing enamel. UD is a little less detail oriented. What I mean is with the super fine embossing powders, you're going to catch every detail in the original art. With UD, it's a much thicker formulation and you may lose a few details. Not much, but you can lose a little detail. You can see it's taking a little longer to heat through because it's that sandy kind of consistency. Hope you guys can hear me over the gun. Now, Udi, because it is much, much thicker, is more prone to cracking than Wow is. If you get a crack, do not panic. Do not throw your project away. Reheat it, and the crack will go away because the Udi will remelt. This will also stay hot longer. Do not stick your finger in it while it's hot. Okay, I want to show you the difference between the two. It's like a satin finish almost versus a glossy finish. See that? Hi, Samantha. Good to see you. We're working with rice paper today and embossing powders to create what we call our glitter and glaze technique. But look how pretty that is. Isn't it amazing how the colors change? I think I have another one of these here. That's a good demonstration to show. Let me see if I have another. I do have another one here. This one actually looks similar, but this one up here looks very different. See how much the colors intensify? I just noticed that I missed a section right down the middle of this in heating this coat. I'm going to get this. You can hold this at an angle and see if you missed anything. And when you're pretty sure you've got it all, then I recommend running your fingers over it to make sure you got everything. Because it's easy to miss some when you're moving this gun around. Okay, there we go. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, we have to decide if we want another coat on this. I'm almost inclined to put another coat on this and see if we can get a real smooth finish on this. Let's see if we can get a smoother finish with this Udi. So I'm going to give it another coat of Udi. Ultra thick embossing enamel. It's sold by Ranger. I have it in the store. Roberta's right, it's not always easy to find because it's not a product you hear a lot about. But we always get called for it after I do one of these demonstrations. And this one will stand here. Why I have my gun sitting on the table, I do not know. Okay. Catherine's here. Catherine, we're doing Paris images. I thought you'd appreciate that. You know, the entrance to the Metropolitan here. And then we have a woman walking down the street, walking her French poodle with the Eiffel Tower in the background. Those are the two cards we started with. Okay, so we've put our Udi on. It looks very sandy again. I'm going to go ahead and pour this back so I don't wear it. I accidentally grabbed the tray that had some glitter, so I might get a tiny bit of glitter in my Udi. Fortunately, I almost always use it with glitter, so it won't matter much. Shouldn't be much in there anyway. Okay, I'm going to put this back on my board. Here's our first one, Catherine. This rice paper is called Lovey, and it's by Bella. I don't know if I said hi to Diane. Hi, Diane, if I didn't. Okay, here we go. Gonna melt this beauty again. Not a bad idea to wear glasses when you're doing this, because when you put the gun to the ultra thick embossing enamel, it can kind of kick those little sandy crystals up, and you don't want to get them in your eyes. So safety goggles or glasses will help protect your eyes from getting any little specks. Always good to be safe when we're crafting. Oh yeah, we're getting a much smoother finish this time. Second coat tends to kind of level out with the first coat, kind of becomes self-leveling. If you hold the gun in one place for a second, you'll actually see what looks like circle waves on the water kind of emanating out, and we don't really want to push it quite that much. We're just looking for smooth finish. So we need to melt it good. Melting the layer under it is not bad. That's a good thing. Letting those go together and create a smooth finish. It does take longer for the crystals to melt. I will have some kits posted for you tonight. The cost of the kit is going to be $22. 14 of that is the the Wow and the Wow mixture. You get $14 worth of Wow in your kit. It's 2/3 of a bottle. I get 1/3. I get 3 bottles of each kind. Now let me try that again. I get 3 bags from each bottle, regardless of whether I'm mixing the glitter in or not. I get 3 bags from one bottle, and the bottles are $21 now. So you get $14 worth of Beauty in your kit. You get a $2.99 rice paper. You get some heat-resistant tape, cardstock, and cards. I'm going to just let this lay flat for just a second, and I'll show you how glossy we got. I can kind of, well, maybe it's safe already. Let's try it. Now look how glossy it is, guys. That's the Beauty. You get much more of a gloss finish with the Beauty. And here again is our Wow print, which has more of a satiny finish with the beautiful glitter in it. Okay, let's make some cards out of these. We will go back and show you the other 2 images that are on this sheet again. You have enough materials in your kit to make 2 more. We've got the beautiful bicycle leaned up against the wrought iron fence. And you have the 2 little lovebirds outside the apartment. Just so cute. So you get 4 cards. Move all these rice papers for the moment. We'll come back to these because I want to show you some of the other prints I have in stock right now that I recommend for this process. Yes, the glaze is going to make the card a little heavier, Glenn, because the finish is heavier. I don't know if it makes enough difference to cost more postage, but the card is going to be heavier with the glaze on it. Remember, if you're straightening this out, and heaven forbid your card cracks, do not throw it out. Do not get aggravated. Simply reheat it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down to size. I can do that right on my cutter pillar. Even with the glaze on it, we'll be fine. I'm going to trim off that loose edge just a little. Okay. Let's see, what did I do with my card bases? There's one right there. I think we're going to trim it down just a little bit more and put a background color behind it. How about a nice pink, true bright pink? You can find it. So I'm going to cut this to 3 7/8 by 5 5/8.
Not bright enough.
That's too bright. One shade down from that. I get 2 or 3 wet wipes, but I could probably use them. Just noticed I have kind of a bit of grit in front of me. Decided I'd wipe it off. Still go lighter, honey.
It goes into a more coral pink.
I think I could use that. For this other one, I think we're going to want a green or a blue, or maybe even black. Black might be good. Entrance to the Metropolitan. I'm going to tape this down. See a little place it's not shiny. Probably means that I missed it. There we go. Yeah, that's beautiful. It's not a lot of color behind there. I think it'll be okay.
Looks very chic with her poodle, says Catherine.
I'm sure I look chic with my poodle, too.
Your shaggy poodle? I don't think so.
We keep our poodle cut like a puppy, so he doesn't have all the fancy poodle haircut.
right now his hair is really long and curly.
Yes, it is. In fact, Bryce had to trim his hair around his eyes so he could see. Hi, Samantha. I'm glad you still have your Eiffel Tower. That's right. That's when we did this last, I think, Catherine. Is when we made the Eiffel Tower card. That is the last time we did this. And we used a napkin to make that. This time we're using rice paper. Okay. This is a very bright cardstock, but not much of it's going to show. So I think it'll be okay. Just want to accent it, my card a little bit with some color.
That's color.
That's definitely got color to it. This paper you chose, I should have looked at the back of it first because I might have used the back. It's got a kind of satin texture to the back. It's pretty. Oh, I like that. I'm going to use tape to put this down. I am going to have to be very careful when I lay it down that I get it in the right place. Because it does have a little bit of a bend in it, I don't want to use tape flags. I really want to tape this down good. And then next up, after we've made our cards from these two, I want to show you some of the other rice papers that we have in the store that I think will just be fabulous for this process. We have so many good ones. Oh, that worked out all right. Look there, guys. Isn't that beautiful?
It's even more sparkly in person.
Well, you can kind of see how much sparkle you get if you hold it at just a little bit of an angle. But isn't it gorgeous? I love that. Okay, let's do the entrance to the Metropolitan. I'm going to do a A6 card again. I think I took them out.
Yeah.
Moved them all up here. Right there. Once again, I'll do a European A6. I'm going to trim off my edges to start with. My cutter will still cut through the UD. Looks even more pretty when you get it trimmed up, doesn't it? I love this process, and I hate the gritty feeling I get when I do it. I'll be wiping off grid for a week, but I do love it. Okay. I'm going to put black behind this. Why? Why not? That's my answer to that. We do have the nice wrought iron in here. That's why I thought that would be pretty. What am I supposed to be doing this weekend? Have I committed to anything? I don't think I have I?
So Saturday?
Yeah. What am I supposed to be doing? I don't think I have committed to anything.
You haven't given me directions to post it. Are we doing the box, the hunky-dory box project, or is that on Thursday?
I'm not doing it yet because I haven't done it yet. I have to make one ahead before we can do that.
Busy.
Oh, I have to.
You had something over in your sorter thing there.
What's that?
You had something in your sorter thing.
Yeah. I'll have to look.
Made reference to.
I'm not sure, but whatever we do, we'll have fun. Okay. All right. Size came out great. Yeah, Samantha, 2 o'clock Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. We're here every week, well, almost every week. 1 weekend a month I've been taking off. But
she's in UK.
Oh, okay. Our time. Whatever that is, UK time. Okay, let's see how this one turned out. And then we'll take a look at some of the other rice papers that we have available that I think would be really, really fun designs. It's still early. If we see something we just really need to do, we could probably do another one out of it. Okay, here we go. Here is the entrance to the Metropolitan on this one. Look at those guys. Aren't they beautiful? Oh my gosh, where's our other one? Where's our other one? Oh. You see what I did with it? That's standard. Oh.
How do you lose a card?
Oh, here it is. Because it slid down under my paper cutter. Here's our 2 cards we've done today. Aren't those gorgeous? One with ultra thick embossing enamel as our cover. One with the wow Both are gorgeous. It just depends on what you're going for. Aren't they pretty? Let me show you some of the other designs I picked out of our store that I think would just be fabulous for this process. Okay, look at this one I picked out of the store today. Imagine how vibrant these colors would be. How gorgeous is that? This one actually, the shell would go this way, the dolphin this way, the starfish I think would go this way, and a treasure box would go this way. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Let's see what else we got here. I think this one would be great fun. Now look how subtle these jellyfish are. You really see the fibers of the rice paper and stuff in this very subtle design. But I think if we put this on, you guys can pick out if you want to see one more. We'll choose one of these, but I think this jellyfish would be amazing. What did I do with the rest of it? There. Come on. There's a lot of great ones in our store. Look at this one. If I made 4 cards out of this, we'd get 2 with birds in them. I guess it's not a bird, that's a flower. But I'd get 1 with a bird. I'd get the tags. I'd get the flower. And that beautiful orchid or iris in the bottom. Look at this one. I do so love doing Christmas scenes this way. The deer, Santa. This one. Aren't they gorgeous? I think I mentioned this one yesterday. This is called Indigo. We got the peacock. We got the hummingbird, the dragonfly, and the flower. Look at this one. I think this one would be fabulous too. Look at the fish. These fish colors would just pop. I see a vote for the starfish, 1 vote for the jellyfish, 1 vote for the roses. Look at this one. It doesn't have to be postcard design. You can cut up a sheet and still make 4 cards from it. This would easily make 4 beautiful, beautiful cards. Still looking for your votes, so you may just be waiting to see what all your choices are. Look at these colors. These colors would be fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. Look at this one. These blues are just going to pop. This one is that Rain of Grace. Bird, beautiful roses, the castle, and then the little squirrel with castle in the background. This is another one from the French collection. See the little subtle Eiffel Tower there? with the flowers in the foreground. That'd be beautiful. Now this one I wouldn't give 4 out of, but I was looking at it and I could certainly get 3. I would take the starfish as 1. I would take the whale as 1. And I would take that ray as 1. This would be great for the guys. With or without glitter. You can go straight to the glaze if you want to. You get at least 2 cards from that. I have 1 vote for Grace now. The only problem is I have 1 vote for
Everything.
each of 14 different things. I can't get this package open. I can't really see this one through the package. Huh? Wow. Good thing that rice paper's tough. I have a hard time getting this one. And the flowers. It'd be gorgeous. Here's another Christmassy scene. I'd get at least 3 from this. Good night, Catherine. Thanks for joining us. And I'd get 4 from this. Okay. I think I have 2 votes. Any other votes before I make a decision and move forward? I think that's the only thing we have 2 votes on, right?
That's the only thing.
Okay. Well, let's try the jellyfish then. There. Second to the last one. Okay. I have another piece of cardstock prepared already. I'm going to cut this in half widthwise, or long side anyway. Found it where I should be calling that. Let's see. How wide is that? I don't want to cut it and ruin the other side. Okay, 4.5. Whoop! Not the card on the floor. Okay. All right. Now, if you're cutting something really lightweight like this with a caterpillar, you need to push your blade against the side of the machine pretty hard because it likes heavier paper rather than softer paper. It's like trying to cut tissue paper. Most cutters are not going to cut tissue paper. Okay. Now, when I put the tape on this one, I kept this one for me because I got a little ripple in the tape. I'm going to peel this back, and then I'm going to use the backing paper to really push that tape down and try and eliminate as much as possible of that ridge. It's not a deal breaker. You can see I actually almost eliminated it. You can still see where it was, but it's not going to be really in the way. Let's cut this down. trim it up a little bit.
Keep it out of your sticky paper.
What's that?
Keep it out of your sticky
Keeping it out of my sticky paper, Bryce said. Yes. Keeping it out of my sticker paper so you don't have to hear me yell at myself for doing something stupid. Okay. I'm going to line this up and put it on my sticky paper. I'm going to put this back over the top. I'm going to burnish that in really good. The idea of using a credit card is a great one. You can't just do it with your fingers, though. Just want to make sure everything's stuck good. But look what's happened already to those colors when I put the white behind it. And that's going to get even more intensified as we put the colors on. So let's get our pad out here. And we're going to pounce, pounce, pounce. Hey, Stephanie. I think first I'll put my glitter wow on. And I think since wow is what's in your kit, that we'll just make this one with the wow. The other one was just for illustration, so we're done with the Udi for now. This is my glittered wow. Okay, I'm gonna pour this back into my container using great caution, not to go over the top. Should have been using my Martha suggestion again. I got a little over the top there. Could have salvaged it. I do like Martha's suggestion of putting another tray underneath. That's a good one, Martha. Okay. But these tidy trays are still a heck of a lot better than not working over a tray. Way better than not. Okay. Let's hit this with some heat. Let's take a minute for our tool to heat up again. Here it comes. Those colors pop as they come through, guys. Looking for anywhere that I didn't touch it. It's in pretty good shape. Look at that, guys. Before and after. See there? The G45, I've been told it's been shipped. I'm thinking it will be here within the week. Might be 2 weeks before it's on the site. But it is on the way. Okay. And you don't really think we have any ripple at all from our tape ripple there. Hi, Karen. Good to see you, friend. Okay, let's put another coat on it. Gonna use the plane this time. You want to pick out something for this? I'm thinking like a, here, turquoise blue kind of color. You can have the black and the coral back, please. That's a nice one. I like it. Thank you. Just set it there. That's actually glimmer cardstock, so it's got sparkles, but I don't mind that. Hey, Sharma. Okay, using my plain wow. If you're mixing your own wow and glitter, use ultra fine glitter and use pretty high quality glitter if you can. You want it to be really, really sparkly but super fine in the glitter. We do have some 1-ounce containers available in the store. To find them, I would look for high quality. It's one of the few things I've actually put high quality in the title. I couldn't put in the name, the brand name, because as I told you, I bought this glitter in a 15-pound bag, and it didn't have a label on it for what company it was from. Company was going out of business and offered it to me at a price I couldn't resist. But I don't know what brand it is, although I've come to think it's Stampendous. I believe that's the brand it is. But I just have it in the store as high quality, ultra fine glitter. This is really turning out beautiful, guys. Now, I don't have to put 4 layers on it if I don't want to. I should stop whenever I'm satisfied that I have the look I want. Sometimes that's 2 layers. Sometimes that's 4 layers. I don't think I've ever put more than 4. This would be really pretty with a layer of beauty over the top of it to make it look like shiny water. But we've done that technique, so I don't think I'll do it again. I'm going to go ahead and stop here just in the interest of time. And I'm going to go ahead and make a card from this. Bryce picked out a pretty background color for us. Look at this color he picked. That's beautiful. The cardstock we're going to use is called Tropical Bay, and it's from Paper Accents. And he actually picked out a glitter. It's not glittery. It's called Glimmery card. And I think actually it'll match our project really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and cover my card with that. Okay. Good night, Victoria. I don't know how. I managed to get my nails so dirty this morning. They did. It's a beautiful cardstock. You can put these cardstocks away from me if you would, hon, please. This one back. Okay, let's cut this down. Start taking all my rough edges off. And I'm going to go to 3 7/8 inch wide by 5 5/8 inch long. Should be a good fit for this. It's beautiful. I need it just tiny bit shorter. Yeah, that looks good. I think I'll do it. Yeah, that tape can always give me a hard time. What's the green cardstock again, please? It's by Peterson Art. I don't usually sell it by the sheet, but if you really wanted some of it in it, I'd make it available to you.
Tropical Bay.
It's called Tropical Bay, and it's from Paper Accents, which is a division of the Peterson Art Company. Yeah, the tape's giving me a hard enough time tonight that I decided to glue this piece. If you decide you want some of it in that, just write to me and I'll quote your price and pull some for Kat to put in your order. Oops. I have a lot of cardstock in the classroom that we use in kits, and people who come in for classes often use it too. There's your jellyfish, guys. Before.
Weight it down, come apart at the bottom.
And after. How's that for amazing? Yes, it sure is. It's trying to come up all the way around. That's what I gotta do when it does that. You know we'll want some. You can have some too, Roberta. Just ask me and I'll quote your price on it. Get it for you. Oh, look at that though. When I turned it upside down, I slid it. Come on. Fortunately, it's glue, so I can reposition a little bit. You sure you tell me the name of it again? What's the name, Grace? So I know what I'm looking for and I sent you the right thing.
Tropical Bay.
Tropical Bay is the name of it. Now look at that. I'm just having a heck of a time getting this paper down.
went with tape.
I should have gone with tape, Ray said. Yes, I should have. Thank you, honey.
And out since you missed it.
All right. So that's it for today. I'm going to have to put more glue under there, believe it or not. After all of that, I'm still going to have to put more glue under it because it just doesn't want to stay where it is. Okay, this should have been taped for sure. I stand corrected and chastised. Definitely should have been taped because it isn't wanting to stay. I don't know if it's because the finish on this paper or if it's just because the card, you know, the topper is thick or what it is. But now I got glue everywhere, so I will clean up around my car. My goodness. I think it's time to stop when I start having these problems. But we did get some beautiful cards made, didn't we? 2 Paris cards and a gorgeous park the car on it, Sharma says. That's funny. I love that, Sharma. It's still beautiful, though. Isn't it gorgeous? Oh, my gosh. That's very funny. Okay. It is beautiful, though. Look at those. I love that. Covered. Oh, that's a good idea, Annette. She covered a brick in fabric, keeps it in her windowsill in the back of her art room. And she has problems. She just smacks it with the brick. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Let's see our other cards again. One last few of those. Here we are. Our 2 Paris cards. We have 2 more to do. They're gorgeous, aren't they? Beautiful. And then we have our wonderful jellyfish. Beautiful, beautiful. This is actually sticking this time. I win. You have to take your wins where you find them, guys. All right. Well, if you're not already a subscriber to our channel, hit that subscribe button. You never want to miss any of the fun that we're up to. We have great ideas coming your way 3 times a week. So hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't already done it, you enjoyed this show and you want to keep seeing them, hit that like button. It makes me feel great. And it lets YouTube know that, yep, this is a station that they can definitely recommend and send to other crafters. And please recommend our store and our YouTube channel to your crafty friends, neighbors, and family. You know we'll never let them down. We will do our absolute best to provide them with the best service they've ever had from a craft store. And we've got over 600 videos out here on YouTube now. We're closing in on 400,000 views. So there's a lot of people who seem to be enjoying our channel. So recommend us if you would, please. Are there any questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom before we sign out for the night? Don't ask me what I'm doing on Saturday. I don't know yet, but it'll be fun. I just don't know what it is yet. I'll figure it out tomorrow. Let's have a party, Thelma says. Soon. soon. We got to hit 400,000 first, but once we hit 400,000, I'll schedule the party. We always have fun when we have our parties, don't we? All right, guys. If there are no questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom, I'm going to say good night, Gracie.